Hello. Hello. Who have we got here right now? How's it going, Sean? Sean Makowski, how's it going, dude? Keegan, Marcus, Ajax, Morgie, Jackson. Any day I can join in on a live stream is a good day. Good to have you here, Jackson. Who else have we got? Bradley, Neek, Dart. Thanks for the live. I was so close to doing some actual work. Now I can just relax. Yeah, but I feel bad if the work needs to be done, my friend. Maybe it should be done. But I'm not complaining. Welcome. Oh, man. No upload today. So, as you guys know, live stream. Upload tomorrow, though. Gonna be doing a bit of editing, I think, after this stream. You better not make fun of my pizza cheese in Portal again, heathen. Just clocked in at work. Cedric. How do you do that at work? Do you kind of like work out the back of somewhere? I don't know. Like most places, like it's against our policy to let you even have earbuds in to listen to music or an audiobook, which is so annoying. When I've worked like previous jobs, like in retail or something, it's like I'm doing something that wouldn't ever really come across customers, yet I can't pass the time and crack on with more productivity via listening to an audiobook or something. Oh, thank you, my friend, Darkar, bringing the joy of Bert to the stream. Good, very good. Oh, wow. Okay, the way I've screenshotted Bert here, he looks kind of, okay, no, again, I always do this every stream. Bring up a screenshot I'm not intending to do. Wait, what? Where did Bert go? Hold on. Where did I screenshot him? Oh, shit. Okay. I think I overwrote something that... Never mind. Why can't it be easy to find super chats? Let me know if the audio levels are okay. I hope they are. No, Bert's gone. I'm trying to locate him. All right. I think I found him. There we go. Look how conniving he looks. Mischievous. Thank you, Dark. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the support. And wow, speaking of support, we've just mirrored down there somewhere. Jerome going crazy at Adam. Thank you so much, dude, for the $10. Holy crap. Shout out to Adam Grunter. Oh, I see it is a Doom Patrol question. Yeah, you know what? It is so interesting to think about Doom Patrol. I mean, we say this every time it comes up, but it's just, you know, it was meant to release like Titans. All the episodes are locked and good to go. So, Adam, again, shout out to you, my friend, for $10. Do you think the last episodes of Doom Patrol will actually air? I know James Gunn said they'd air, but with how little info we've gotten, I'm starting to think it actually got shelved. I really hope not. No, they will. They will air. I guarantee... Well, I can't guarantee you, can I? But I don't think James Gunn would say that they're not going to be shelved and that they will release if they were going to do the complete opposite. It just seems to be now more of a situation in where they're releasing it as if it is two separate seasons, which is ridiculous. Like, think about it. We're almost in September now. And... Wait, didn't Titan Season 4 air September last year? And then immediately after that, it was Doom Patrol. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was... I don't know. Either way, it's just so crazy how we're relatively not so far away from Part 1's release in the grand scheme of things. So I think they're just doing that, Adam. They will release it. I'm very, very confident about that. I think... I don't really get the strategy behind it because... you know, to maintain subscribers, if that's the reason, then it's just like, people would just unsubscribe for a year and then come back and subscribe when part 2's about to release. So I don't really get it, but I'm telling you now, they're releasing. Very confident about that, and they're good to go. I know you're still worried about it, Adam, but trust me. If for some weird reason they didn't release, I would be gobsmacked. So yeah. Thank you so much for the chat, though. The super chat. Sky says, hey, Boba, been a fan for a while, but this is the first stream I've been able to catch. How's it going? Well, welcome. Good to have you here. How's it going? Yeah, not bad, not bad. Kind of sucks that my Ahsoka review absolutely tanked yesterday, but that is the way it is sometimes. It probably didn't help that I uploaded it like 5-6 hours later than what I normally do. I uploaded it like 2 a.m. my time, which is something I never do, so nobody saw that video. But other than that, I'm doing all right. We're kind of in a time in where content isn't as booming in the entertainment industry because of the strikes. You're up till 2 a.m. You need sleep, my man. Dude, that is... I'm normally up a lot later than 2 a.m. My God. Our sleep schedules must be quite different. But to be fair, I do want to go to bed latest 1 a.m. in the future. But I'm quite a night owl. You know, I don't get up like 7 a.m., half 7 or anything like that. So if I had to get up at 7 a.m. sharp or something like that, then yeah, I wouldn't be going to bed at like 2 or 3 a.m. I am the shadows. Yeah. All right, we've got Adam Grunther again. Really appreciate it, man. And shout out in the chat, guys, because Adam Grunther's been supporting the channel with super chats for as long as I can remember, to be honest. So I really appreciate that. How would I rank each of the main villains? Oh, wait. Okay, wait, hold on. Why have I got so many? How would I rank the main villains of each season of Stargirl? Those being Icicle, Eclipso, and Ultra Humanite. Oh, man. I feel like Brainwave was like such a huge villain that people don't think about as a main villain, but he kind of was in season 1. If you think about it, you know, we had Jake Austin Walker, Brainwave Jr., under the pretense, you know, well, the more he learned about his father, he thought that maybe it changed a little bit, but his humanity was so far gone that not only did he kill his mother, but he killed his own son. I always found Brainwave, yeah, he is more of the secondary antagonist because of, clearly, Jordan Marken, Icicle was, you know, the leader of the ISA, but, my favorite villain, even though this isn't really ranking it, probably would be Brainwave Jr. and what he had to play. But I would say... Oh, this is a tough one. Ultra Humanite, I have to admit, I didn't really care so much for. I felt like it was a bit because of... I think maybe the fan theories got wild with regards to who could have been doing those killings and all of that crazy stuff. Eclipso I enjoyed. I definitely feel like they brought him to, you know, live action in a way that could have been a lot cheesier. No, let me rephrase that. Like, I thought it was quite good. It could have been way worse than what it was, but I don't think it was amazing. So I think I would have to say Icicle, Eclipso, and then Ultra Humanite in order of, you know, Icicle being my favorite. But Brainwave Loki is probably... that's why I said, like, Stargirl Season 1, for me, is by far the best. I just feel like there was a lot more going on there. Like, I know the Wizard was only in it for, like, a couple of episodes, but, you know, when he got... Well, the Wizard's kid died, and then the Wizard got killed. You know, you have Brainwave doing stuff in the background. Yeah, I loved the Brainwave Jr. stuff because that was so emotional when he passed away. He got killed. He got murdered by his dad. That was just so mad. I'll never forget that. It was so cool. And I'm trying to not sound biased. Like I interviewed Jake Austin Walker on the channel. Just in case none of you have seen that, if you want a bit of a flashback to Stargirl Season 1, I interviewed him on the channel. But yeah, I really enjoyed his character. I remember, like, tearing up at the end of that episode. And do you remember the song that was playing? And then, like, the JSA were just standing there behind the bars, like, because they couldn't get to him. It was so messed up. But, yeah, Season 1, I think, was genuinely the best put-together season. Was the most exciting. Eclipso, you say, I loved Eclipso. I just wish they didn't rely on using the kid form so much. I agree with that. I just feel like, you know, prosthetics and stuff like that was really impressive. They definitely had a cool horror-esque element there, but you're 100% right. They relied way too much on, like, hey, I'm a conjuring kid, and I'm just gonna freak you out. And I did like the shade, though. Like, I'm not saying that Season 2 and Season 3 weren't enjoyable, because they really were. I really like certain parts of them more than others. The shade was really cool. One thing I love about Stargirl most of all is how, with that show, they really brought the lighthearted, young-spirited, adventurous, you know, E.T. type movie vibe to the JSA that is accurate to the comics, because it's very golden age, if you know what I mean. And no matter what form the JSA is in, even if it's releasing in a modern day comic book, most of the time they maintain a very classical golden age style to them. So, and I think that is inherently because of their costumes as well. They were designed so long ago. Batman, Superman, and that often get portrayed in present day with evolutions to them, but there's certain characters that were designed back then, like, you know, Dr. Midnight or you know, just to various other characters that I feel like have this timeless look to them. Even Jay Garrick. Starman. Who else have we got? I need to see the JSA photo again. Icicle is the best, Morgie says. Wildcat's suit, I would say, yeah, I suppose you could say. I don't know. I feel like that one isn't so standout-ish with old-fashioned kind of looks to it. I'd say Alan Scott is one of them as well. Alan Scott, Green Lantern. I suppose it's the way it's modernized, right? Who's my Wonder Woman fan cast for the DCU? I don't have one right now. Like, I can't think of anyone from the top of my head and where I'm just like absolute conviction in this person playing the future Diana of Themyscira. Jake says he teared up a bit after the episode 2. It was very hard not to. Very emotional. Johnny Thunder looked great. Yep. Who else did we see back? You know, Starman was really cool. I loved the way Stargirl, again, it's like they maintained classical vibes but modernized the suit in kind of cool ways. With LJ Supersuits, quite often did a great job. Like, Our Man's suit was pretty cool. I felt like it could have used a bit of improvement, but I couldn't really tell you how. I mean, I really like it. I like the texture on it. I love the cape. I love the hourglass. I love the belt. But I felt like the tone of the suit, other than that, like from here and the legs down, were just... I'm not saying it needs MCU lines in there, but I feel like it needs to meet that destination, if not halfway, just a quarter of the way along the road, because I feel like Our Man's suit would work well with some kind of more line work in it, or just something. Jackson's holding me to my word here. I will. I was thinking about that today, actually. So, Jackson, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. The Batman Watch Party and DCU casting video now. Do it. These are things to anyone who doesn't know, these are the things that I've said I've wanted to do for months. Still haven't done it. Which I always say I don't have a good excuse for, other than I think, well, the Batman watch party I could just actually organize. That's something I think just shows you how useless I am at organizing things. It's not as if I don't have the time to actually post and think about doing that. But the DCU casting videos, I think I always avoid it because I begin to think about it, and you know when you're in the midst of never being able to make a decision between something? I think, I try and apply my thinking to it, and I get overwhelmed. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't frickin' know. So that's why I'm taking my sweet-ass time with... It wouldn't be like a DCU casting video. It would be character by character. So I do one that's Bruce Wayne, one that is Wonder Woman, one that is... who else could we have in the future? The Green Lanterns. You know, I know we've got Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, but who would I fan cast for Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart? I don't know. However, I will say that, Jackson, you've done an amazing fan art, concept art of Alden Ehrenreich. I really liked that, by the way. I think Alden Ehrenreich could play a Lantern. That'd be pretty good. I feel like he's the right age and the right vibe for a Hal Jordan. I feel like whenever it comes to superhero castings, though, people are just going to be like, yep, or absolutely nope. How the hell did you come by that fan casting? So, and then there's certain ones I think we can all agree on. Rick and Yolanda ruined season 3 for me. Are you talking about when they were like salty? I know what you mean. I felt like there's one thing giving them a storyline that's relevant to make them aggy or whatever, but there's certain times where you can just go so overboard with it. Yeah, I feel like that did drag down a little bit of it. Anissa, I need you to elaborate on that. James Gunn is not doing the best. I knew he should have stayed off Twitter, but honestly, I don't really like the guy. Too much ego and empty promises. I don't get that vibe at all, but I would be open to hearing what you mean by that. And the Twitter stuff was really bad. I don't know what stuff was really bad. I don't get an ego vibe from Gunn. I mean, I've never seen him kind of talk about things or flex things to elevate, or kind of the way he elevates any kind of ego. I will criticize the Gal Gadot situation with, I believe that Gal did hear those things. Other than that, though, I've actually appreciated how transparent he's been with certain things, because my best example to use is when he shot down the DCU Batman rumors. Sorry, like the Batman being incorporated into the DCU. I'm telling you now, that saved me so much frustration, because so many people felt like that was going to happen. Like the Batman was going to be the founding block for the new DC universe, just the first character in the first movie. And I kept saying, no. When that article came out, people were like, see, I told you. And every moment from there on out, everyone would have believed Variety, and that Robert Pattinson's Batman would have been DC Batman. And I would have heard that every day for the next year or so. So thank God that Gunn was there to finally swing down the debunk hammer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to be as objective as I can be. I don't really see ego with Gunn, to be honest with you. I'm not saying he's perfect, but I don't really see what you were saying. Right, anyway, so we've got another super chat from Skytard. Skytard, what a name. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting the channel. Really appreciated. Is the music an okay volume? I can't remember if anyone said that. Right. I'll get to your reply in a second, Anissa, if I bloody remember. You know what my brain's like sometimes. Do you think we'll see, and again, cheers to Skytard for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, man. Do you think we'll see any more on the Wonder Woman game this year? Any specific things you want in the game, whether that would be story or mechanics? It's a very good question, because I'm trying to rack my brain. Maybe chat can help me out here with regards to how long ago that was announced. But I do feel like we should have heard a peep out of it by now. Now, I'm not optimistic at all about the gaming industry. You know, Baldur's Gate 3 is incredible, but that's such an outlier. And I don't need to go into a whole lecture about how shit the gaming industry is and the standards of gaming companies out there and gaming studios. I'm not putting everyone under the same boat, but what I'm trying to get to the point of here is that the Wonder Woman game, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, they ran into some kind of vision change. Maybe they could have started again. Maybe it's gone stagnant and they need to kind of rethink things. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that and they are developing it, but they just don't want to say anything about it, and they have got quite good progress on it. So do I think we'll see anything more about it this year? I feel like they've had the opportunity to do that, whether it was even Gamescom. I don't like cinematic trailers, but if they still wanted fans to know that it was still there, they could have marketed it for a cinematic trailer. But I don't know. Now, as for mechanics, well, it's a good question. Any kind of, I feel like a Wonder Woman game would inevitably be kind of a hack and slash, not like proper hack and slashy, but, and I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed anymore, but kind of like God of War / Assassin's Creed combat mixed with somewhat open world. That kind of, I know that we've seen that a million times before, so how would it differentiate itself? Well, I think the game could just be really fun with Diana being a demigod, using those powers, coming up against enemies that are understandably a challenge, which, you know, there's plenty Diana could come up against. Just like, you know, Spider-Man's very strong, but in Spider-Man games we've come up against people who still need beating up. So maybe something standard like that. I know that's not too imaginative, but yeah, I don't know. As far as we're aware as well, it's not a DCU game, because we are having games in the DCU. But that's probably because it was, well, also James Gunn did say we were going to get Elseworlds video games, because otherwise, you know, we would have never have got the Batman Arkham games if they were all adhering to the canon of a cinematic universe. So I don't know, Sky. I don't know. I just want a badass kind of hack and slash kind of Wonder Woman game. Would be cool to have some. I think it will be linear. You know, it's not going to be an RPG or anything like that with multiple different directions. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know how open world it would be either. I can imagine different lands. So maybe you start off in Themyscira, then once you've played 6-7 hours, maybe 4 to 5 hours actually, you then go somewhere else. I'm not sure. Right. I'm going to be honest, no hate, please. No, I'm not taking this as hate. Well, I'm not hating on your opinion. We can have different opinions, it's fine. I just feel like if you're controlling an entire universe, you can give tidbits. If you're controlling an entire universe, you can give tidbits. I feel like that's what he's been doing. He's been giving tidbits. Just wait until movies come out. Way too much time on social media. But I don't see how that means he has a big ego. I'm not disagreeing with you that maybe he should not be as vocal, just in terms of how it has tripped him up with how he did say Gal Gadot, they didn't let her go. I've now got receipts of that, so what does that mean now? Other than that, I feel like a lot of the transparency has been fun. You know, he's just interacting with fans. You know, just replying back to a fan the other day saying, "Oh yeah, we're creating a very, detailed DCU map." That's cool. That's cool to know. Debunking minor things can be important, but yeah, I think, as he said, he's going to try and stay away from that a little bit, because, you know, you're just giving not credit, but attention to places that make shit up for no reason. Honestly, the ego comes from controlling an entire universe and telling people multiple times that things will happen when it won't. I don't know what he's done, what he said that will happen, other than the Gal Gadot thing. Like, you've got a point with the Gal Gadot thing, even though it's open to interpretation, but I'm pretty insistent that when you say we didn't boot Gal and we didn't let Gal go, that is kind of saying something that might not happen. But I don't know what else he said that won't happen. Well, actually, there's the Ben Affleck thing. He said that Ben Affleck was interested in directing something. But I wouldn't say that's egregious. I don't know. I'm really trying to be objective here. Like, I don't shill for Gunn. Like, I've been very critical on the Wonder Woman thing. with what he said, and I'm not really gonna back down on that. Like, it is so obvious that he did say shit like that to her. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think he's... I don't dislike him. I think he's got a good plan for the DCU. But will it be successful or not? That's a whole other question, isn't it? An actual geographical DCU map. Yeah, Canary Bricks. I talked about it in my DCU video from the day before yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, it was a little tidbit, and I thought, man, the fact that, I mean, it's something that you would want to do if you're mapping out and creating a cohesive 8 to 10 year plan for a DC universe. But I love the idea that they're actually doing a world map, a very detailed one. I would love to have that on the background, like in a lithograph kind of form. So yeah, really, really awesome. And I think he'll probably share that with us in years to come. You know, at the next big kind of comic convention-y thing, I think he will truly, you know, probably reveal something like that. Like, hey, here's this in conjunction to that with regards to Gotham is this far away from Metropolis. It doesn't necessarily connect in the way that you've seen it in Snyder's universe or something. I don't know. It would just be really cool to see. You know, where's Dinosaur Island? There's probably loads of things that they're doing with regards to that. Let me scroll up a bit. Him saying we didn't let Gal go just means that he didn't fire her, but chose not to hire her for his DCU. Like he did with Cavill, so he didn't lie in that manner. So the thing is, I debate that orchestra. So you're saying that's like what he did with Cavill, but then why didn't he say we didn't let Henry go in that same sentence? Does that make sense? So he said in that sentence, we didn't let Gal go. Ezra's movie was already made, and Henry isn't what I had in mind for Superman, or something like that in the last bit. If it was the exact same thing as Henry Cavill, he would have been like, we didn't boot Henry or Gal. Ezra Miller's movie was already made. And, you know, he's not what he has in mind for Superman. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty damn clear cut. I don't know if I had the screenshot up. No, that was last stream. Yeah, so this screenshot right here. Yes, that does mean that he didn't fire her. I agree with you. But let me put it this way. My main point in my video was, right? Because right here, he's answering a fan with regards to Henry Cavill's Superman and Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. This is something we need to bear in mind. The only thing he addresses there, like, for example, when he says Henry doesn't fit what I have for Superman, he would have also have said, if he didn't want Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman at the time, I don't know if you agree with me here, but if he didn't want Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman, he would have also said Henry and Gal doesn't fit what I have for Superman and Wonder Woman. Wouldn't he? Isn't that a lot simpler than the way he's done it here? He's literally separated it by saying we didn't let Gal go. Henry doesn't fit what I have for Superman. In my mind, he would say, if he didn't want her as Wonder Woman, Henry doesn't fit what I have for Superman, neither does Gal for Wonder Woman. Or Henry and Gal doesn't fit what I have for those two characters. Instead, he pretty clearly, distinctively separated both facts. Henry. So, I don't know. I feel like that is super clear cut, man. That one thing, Orchestra is making a good point. That sentence was said by him after he announced Cavill was out, but Gadot had 2 cameos left. So saying she was out before the 2 cameos is a PR move, I think. That is technically a good point. So wait, I need to... How long ago? Oh, it only says 26 weeks. That is something I haven't actually taken into account. I think that was said, maybe that was, God, was that said December or January? I think, when did Shazam Fury of the Gods come out? Shazam Fury of the Gods release date. 17th of March. Yeah, I mean, that could have been said before then. I mean, I don't know. I think that's open to interpretation, so I take that into account. But I do think you could be right. He could have said, well, we technically didn't boot her because she's in this movie and this movie, you know, The Flash and Shazam 2. However, I don't want to put all my money on that because he could still, at the time, have believed in keeping on Gal Gadot, but just changed his mind. You know, would that really mean that we didn't boot her? Just, you know, those cameo scenes would have already have been shot. So I don't know. You could argue that's him on a technicality saying we didn't boot Gal, but still, it's too much long-term misinterpretation to separate them in the ways that I just showed. If him saying we didn't let Gal go just meant she's in Shazam 2 and The Flash, that right there still makes a lot of people think that she's carrying on as Wonder Woman in the DCU. So also I can add into the fact that this was about the DCU. So him saying that in that same Instagram comment, Henry doesn't fit what I have for Superman, right? He's talking about DCU Superman. In this whole reply, he's talking about DCU, really, in the overall scheme of it. So we didn't let Gal go could still mean because she's going to be involved in the DCU, but Henry Cavill, as it ends off in that screenshot, doesn't fit what I have for my DCU Superman. Ultimately, though, this is what I agree with Anissa with earlier. This kind of stuff is what Gunn has made a mistake with in terms of being transparent. I think, as people say, he can make tidbits, but putting that information out there is just without literally bottom line slapping it on the table and be like, this is how it is, just to clear it up for once and fucking all. Henry, clearly not Superman. We've got David Corenswet. Gal Gadot, nope, she's gone. Or, no, actually, we're keeping her. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. We're getting a new one. Just say it. Just say it now. But, I don't know. I think a lot of people will like, Randy saying, bottom line, Gunn has a growing bad reputation with many fans. See, I don't know how to think of this perception. I don't know if it's a vocal minority. I don't know if it's a big one. Because what people say is, and I agree with this, Twitter or Instagram or whatever isn't the whole world. It's not reflective of the mass opinion necessarily. You know, just because you have an algorithm that might have a few mutuals saying, oh yeah, fuck James Gunn, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. It doesn't really mean that everyone thinks that. I know a lot of people on this channel, even though I do get a lot of comments being critical of whenever I talk about anything DCU News Roundup. A lot of people are excited as well. You know, don't forget that Gunn is quite, in my opinion, a good world builder. He has made good movies. And the DC under Warner Brothers has been this inflamed wound. You know, imagine if like you fell over, you broke your arm, and your whole arm is inflamed and swollen, right? That is Warner Brothers, DCEU. Now, what's been happening is that throughout the years of the DCU, it's like me getting a little hammer and not smashing the living shit out of my arm, but just every now and again, I inflame it. Like, I hit it, and it gets swollen again. The swelling starts to go down a little bit. I hit it again. So I feel like we're coming from a time in where people just don't want, especially with James Gunn's decision to recast Henry Cavill. So yeah, I'm not denying that he is getting and has had a bad reputation in some fans' minds, but I don't think that's everyone's opinion. I think we're inheriting an audience, aka the Snyder cult, and this isn't, you know, everyone who's a Snyder fan, because I'm a Snyder fan, but I'm not in the Snyder cult, who just don't like James Gunn and will not support the future direction of that Warner Brothers unless they get their Restore the Snyderverse and Ben Affleck Batman movie and sell the Snyderverse to Netflix bullshit. Now, I'm not saying you have to be in the Snyder cult to dislike James Gunn. You can just be like me and just be like, nah, I don't really like what he's doing. Fair enough. But I would say that the vocal people that I see are Snyder cultists. So, I don't know if he's... back to the comment I was reading. I've kind of lost it now. I don't think he is... growing, like getting a bigger and bigger, badder reputation. His DCU hasn't even started. This was always going to be the case. You're always going to poke the bear of a certain part of the fandom if you've got rid of Henry Cavill. However, the fruits of his future labors and ongoing labors right now with the DCU have not been presented. We don't know how Superman Legacy is. We don't know what Lanterns will be like. But I admit, it does feel like a very, very temperamental venture. Superman Legacy needs to absolutely slap, like, so hard, to get people really excited for the future DCU. Whether you're a fan or not of what Gunn does. So, anyway, I've been rambling for a while about that. You playing the Texas Chainsaw game? No. I'm not a Snyder person, but I would be very smart to use his main 3, at least some, to further the story. You can rebrand without scrapping. Wait, are you saying keep Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ben Affleck? I don't know if that's what you mean. It's not, but Ben Affleck was going anyway. He wasn't staying. I think most people want a full reset if you're going any kind of reboot. It's more than Snyderverse fans who doubt Gunn. I'm not. No, yeah, that's why I said you don't have to just be in the Snyder cult to doubt Gunn. Fair enough. There are people out there who are apprehensive, and I completely understand why. I need to make that clear. If you're not even in the Snyder cult, with the way everything has been, the way that DC has been mishandled throughout the years, and the way we are now moving forward, you can, with all validity, do whatever you think and feel however you want about the future direction. But to have like a passionate, this is what I wanted to distinguish, to have a burning passion of absolute mistrust and burning disdain for James Gunn and whatever the heck he plans to do, I feel like that's a bit jumping the gun. I would rather be optimistic with what the future brings. And I personally am. Now, I'm apprehensive about some things. I'm apprehensive about Batman Brave and the Bold. I'm optimistic about Superman Legacy. But yeah. Oh, we just got a new super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Penguin. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the $10. All right, getting straight on that. Shout out to Mr. Penguin in the ways of Benedict Cumberbatch. Penguin. I don't know if you answer this or not, but what are your thoughts on Ahsoka? Yeah, this is what I mean, man. Like, what? I mean, I'm not saying you had to watch my video, but, like, just for those who don't know, like, I'm salty right now. My video completely... I mean, I know I don't have, like, a big Star Wars audience, but even Mandalorian does better than what my Ahsoka video did last night. It completely tanked. Now, I do have an inkling as to why. I uploaded it, like, at 2 a.m. I normally upload hours and hours and hours before that. But yeah, Mr. Penguin, long story short, but I'm going to read the rest of your question out. I have done a whole 2-episode review. Check it out. Support the video, guys. If you're a fan of Ahsoka and Star Wars, I've already reviewed the first 2 episodes. I would really appreciate you guys checking it out. And I plan to do it weekly. I mean, if people carry on to not even watch it, as in like 30 viewers after like 4 hours, then I might be like, okay, this is really weird for the channel. But yeah, I have done a video on it, man, going mega in depth. I thought the first 2 episodes were great. A little slow, but I see where it is going.
Balin and Shin stole the show for me. So yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say it's great, but I do agree with that. It started off a bit slow. I love Balin and Shin. Actually, you know, that's a bit hyperbolic to say. I wouldn't say I love them, but I feel like they are very intriguing, and I want to love them so desperately. I'm a big fan of Ray Stevenson. You know, rest in peace to him, because it's so tragic that he passed away out of nowhere when he was filming. I can't remember what he was filming for, but I've watched him ever since I was a kid. Like, I was watching Rome, way younger than what I probably should have been watching it back in like 2005 or 6. So I remember he played Titus Pillow in that, and yeah, the fact that I always found him so cool, and now he's playing a former Jedi, if you will. They're not. I don't want to quite call them dark side users, because they're not straight up. They're kind of just like, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want, you know, former Jedi kind of thing, leaning into the dark side a bit if they have to. But yeah, no, I feel like the show has a lot of promise. I think as we got into episode 2, when things got a bit more interesting, without spoilers here, if you haven't seen Ahsoka, don't worry, but when the star map started to open things up, when Morgan Elsbeth opened that up, the Eye of Sion, and I was just like, okay, this is where shit's kicking off now. There was a certain blandness to it, though. If I'm being really honest here, there's something about the actor with Sabine, and even Rosario Dawson, that I feel is oddly wooden. And I really mean that with the most respect, because I do enjoy, and have still enjoyed them in those first 2 episodes. And I've enjoyed Rosario Dawson before that. I think she looks cool. I think the fights are cool. But I don't know what it is. And I have seen some people echo these thoughts as if I'm not going crazy. But there's something... I don't know what it is. But like I was going on the Ahsoka hashtag, and some people were saying, like, yeah, the direction for... some people were saying, like, Rosario Dawson didn't even want to be there, as if she didn't want to be. And I was like, I was kind of vibing that at points. I know she's meant to be playing like an older Ahsoka, so maybe she's just kind of, you know, being a bit more, I don't know, stoic with her cadence and demeanor. But and Sabine didn't really, I don't know, that's taken a while to grow on me, and I did mention that in my review. But overall, you know, I'm still really enjoying it. I think it's just taking a while to get used to live action iterations of the Star Wars characters. I love the overall kind of, I think the most alluring thing about it is that it's the grandest Star Wars story we've had, equivalent to like a Star Wars movie in ages. You know, sure, like Andor visits a very important time in Star Wars, but like it's in the past. Mandalorian, sure, you could argue Moff Gideon, you know, and the Mandalorians, but it's kind of like a niche story within the grander scheme. But with the threat of Grand Admiral Thrawn coming back with a resurgence of the Empire, that's huge. So I think it has a lot of promise with that and whatnot. No, yeah, brutal she is, but she's way older than what she was in where we've seen Ahsoka before. However, I do give some leeway to like the fact that she is a bit older, but I don't know, man. There's just something that doesn't feel so... I don't know. The only way I can say it was kind of wooden. Sabine, I did see the mannerisms, but I'm not sold completely right now. Same with Hera. I did see it with Chopper, because of course, if you have an official Star Wars show, put Mary Elizabeth Winstead in Hera makeup, put her with Chopper, you're going to see some Hera and Chopper-esqueness there. But I would still say it felt weirdly uncanny valley oddness to me. That, I don't know. So maybe it just will take a bit longer for me to get sucked in. But yeah, if you haven't seen my Ahsoka review, man, check it out. We get into it. And I would love to know, did you get notified of that video? Did anyone get notified of that? Like, I don't know if you ever get notifications for the channel anyway, but let me know if you did wake up to a notification. Because sometimes YouTube fumbles like that. Why are you apprehensive on the brave and the bold? For plenty of reasons that we've spoken about before. When I say apprehensive, that doesn't mean like initially like I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be terrible. It just means that I think I'm such a huge fan of Batman that I want it done right. But will it be done right? So thank you, Tinks, for letting me know. Dark Car, thank you. But Mr. Penguin, are you even still here? I'm trying to find a post. Morgie, you wondered what the heck I was doing? Really? But in the US, isn't it like early for you? Well, it wasn't early, but it's probably a way more appropriate time for you. But I assume that's what you mean. Like the time I uploaded it for me was like, I just didn't want to wait till today because what they've done this year with Ahsoka is they've changed the times. So it makes it even more awkward for me. It airs on the Tuesday for you guys in the US. But for me, yeah, I always forget Morgie's Canadian. I'm sorry. But for me, it airs Wednesday, 2 a.m. So I didn't want to wait till Thursday to upload it because it would have felt like 2 days for most people. So I uploaded it when I did, but it turns out maybe that was a mistake because it did absolutely terrible. But we'll have to wait and see next week. I don't expect next week's views to do well either, and that probably all comes down to me not covering Star Wars enough. But you guys can help me out, and if you're a Star Wars fan, you want to hear the Boba takes, watch the Star Wars videos. The Ahsoka ones. Usually when I upload vids, it's around 4. I was gonna say, I was like my brain. I think, by the way, tomorrow's video is a Batman video, and Monday's video is going to be a Batman video. And I don't just mean Batman, I mean the Batman. I don't want to overhype Monday's video or anything, but I'm just excited to do it. It's kind of cool and watch party-esque in a way. And I don't know if it will interest people so much, but it's just something that's kind of old, but I feel like will just be a fun discussion video. Like, sometimes I get excited to post videos just to see what you guys say in the comments, because it always gets people's creative juices flowing. Watch party-esque and old. You'll see what I mean. I don't want to give it away. It's not... Again, I really don't want to overhype it. It's just, you know, typical the Batman Boba kind of video, but it's something I haven't really done before. And when I say watch party, me reacting to something, but then talking about it with you guys. And it involves Matt Reeves. And I'm not saying Matt Reeves is with me, obviously. But it's kind of like he is. No, yeah. I'm just glad that you guys will get to have 2 Batman videos in a row. Well, one tomorrow and one Monday. Brutus says, "Oh shit, a new vid Boba hasn't done before." Again, I probably shouldn't have said anything because I don't want to overexcite people. But it's just, I thought about it and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like this thing came up and I've seen it before, and I was like, "Why haven't I made a video about this?" And then I realized I could make a video about it. So, right, Mr. Penguin, you're back at it again with a very bloody generous $10. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to everyone for Mr. Penguin sending in 2 super chats in a row. And I just realized that WXYZ sent in a super chat first. So I do apologize. Shout out to you, my friend, first and foremost, because I accidentally glossed over your one. How did I miss that? How did I miss that? Sometimes it happens. I mean, I always get to it eventually, but I must have been rambling when the previous Jerome laughter came in. That's why I've brought that alert back, by the way, to make sure I hear when somebody super chats, because I know how much I can ramble and get distracted. Right, Mr. Penguin, I'll be with you in a few minutes. So WXYZ, or as you Americans, or maybe even Canadians say, Z, Gotham City Radio. First, why no Green Arrow figurine behind you? Okay, I'll answer that right away. I'm ashamed as well. I am ashamed because Green Arrow, as I'm guessing many of you know, I would happily take some kind of penalty if it meant knowing that DCU James Gunn. Well, James Gunn was going to ignite a Green Arrow project in the DCU. I don't know what that punishment would be. If I have to run down the street naked, I'll do it. So why don't I have a Green Arrow figurine behind me? I don't know. CW-wise, I think maybe I don't spend a lot of money, and my tastes are to the point of where I want something half decent. I don't want like you know, like where you have figures where you can see like the joints in them for the limbs to rotate. I don't want something like 15, 20 bucks like that. I want one where, I don't know if you can see it. I've got like a Flash figurine behind me somewhere. Yeah, you can't see him. He's right there. That one. If I had a Green Arrow one like that, you can only see the Speedster boots and the Speedster legs there. I'd want something like that. And I've never come across one, and I don't really buy a lot of merch these days for probably mortgage reasons. So yeah, hopefully one day, you never know, I'll get a lovely Green Arrow for my birthday. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if I find one. So yeah, I'm ashamed of that, and I need one. If any of you got any recommendations for a cool Green Arrow figure, hit me up. Second, think we'll see any Superman Legacy cast in Creature Commandos? Metallo, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific. That is a very, very, very good point, because you saying that really does, you know, I can't shut you down there. There could be, you know, even though that's not been announced, there could be a surprise there. I wouldn't count on it in the sense that David Corenswet's could have a whole paragraph to say of lines. However, Creature Commandos is canonically the first continuity kind of thing, and Superman Legacy comes after it. So it would be pretty cool. Like, I can imagine that, because, don't forget, guys, James Gunn has written every single episode of Creature Commandos. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's put some world building in there already. So there could be a TV and you could see Superman fly across the screen, and canonically that's David Corenswet, but it doesn't mean we're going to really see much of him. So I wouldn't count on it. I do think it would be, I don't think Hawkgirl or anything like that, because I think it will be fairly self-contained. I think, you know, we're going to have the Creature Commandos cast deal with whatever threat they're going to deal with. I do think Amanda Waller could appear in it. We know that there's a Creature Commandos cast member appearing in the Waller series. It's probably Weasel. But if I'm wrong, it'd be pretty cool to see one of the other characters go into live action, like David Harbour. Like, he's good, you know. They're the voice actors who are playing the physical characters whenever they come into live action one day. So, I don't know. I mean, that you could argue, because it's animation, they could have Lois Lane, a newspaper, like, or a news report by her, but I think that is wishful thinking. But what I would say ultimately is you can't shut it down. James Gunn could have really surprised us there. And even, actually, no, that doesn't make sense. What we heard is that they had already recorded all the voice lines for Creature Commandos. And by the time David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan were cast, I doubt that Gunn would have snuck them in for any voice recording lines before the strike happened. Maybe, but I doubt it. So maybe just Easter eggs. I think world building, Easter eggs, and references. Maybe there could be really cool references to like a Flash of Central City, because we have no idea what's going on with that. There could be all kinds of things like that, but as for actual appearances, I would probably say no, other than Amanda Waller and just the Creature Commandos. I don't know what you guys think of that, but thank you, WXYZ Gotham City Radio. Is that from the Batman Audio Adventures as well? I remember there was always that radio chatter going on in there. I haven't listened to that in a long time. Still no sight of Mandy. What the hell? I know. We've lost her. She did comment on a video not so long ago. So she's still alive. It's good to know. And it means she's still a part of the community, even if a distant one. But I shall still mourn. Mr. Penguin, thank you so much for the $10 again, my friend. No sign of Mr. Wick. I don't think that's going to change. I don't want to be a pessimistic person, but it's been like 7-8 months, which is really scary. Okay, Mr. Penguin, do you think DC would be better off doing solo project universes like the Batman and Joker, since those movies did well, instead of trying to be like Marvel with a connected universe? Do I think they'd be better off? Let me start by saying that I think they would be successful. You know, if you had, on top of a solo Batman project like we do with Reeves's universe, solo Elseworlds Joker universe. But the part of where it begins to lose me, even though we have all of these successful hypothetical movies, like another Green Lantern movie that is completely separate, a Martian Manhunter movie that's completely separate, a Deathstroke solo movie that's completely separate, all while you get awesome directors to make these awesome character study-esque high quality cinema movies, as opposed to the usual cinematic universe formula. I think the more that would carry on, so let's just say we're 5 to 7 years in the hypothetical world of hypothetical separate movies and universes, people would eventually crave and start saying, why don't we have these characters connect? I know that is what will happen. So I don't think DC would be better off just doing solo movies, for the reason I just said. That's one reason, by the way. I think you can have both mutually exist. Again, we have the Batman, but we're still going to get the DC Cinematic Universe. You're still going to have Joker, which is connected to, you know, Batman as a character, but he's got nothing to do with Robert Pattinson's Batman. That's Barry Keoghan's Joker, right? So it's more that DC would be better off just doing the right approach to their movies. We know what the mishandlings were of the past. You know, this isn't even all down to Zack Snyder. You know, it was executives getting involved back in the day, all kinds of things like that. And ever since that era, we had a whole period of just fumbling things, trying to make things work, but there wasn't really a proper plan in place. It was like, okay, Margot Robbie's now making the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie, and it's like, oh, okay, we're getting Shazam off the ground, but we're doing it wasn't really leading anywhere because the Snyderverse was in shambles. Like, for years, while these other movies were coming out, there was no clear cinematic universe movie direction, even though they were a part of a DCEU. Because Justice League was Justice League. There wasn't clearly going to be a direct, overarching Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 plot to that. Then we were getting the Snyder Cut. So, like, ultimately, my point is, DC would be better off just doing, hopefully, what will be achieved by 2025 onwards. Do your separate quality movies like the Batman, Joker, and whatever else may be announced for an Elseworlds project, but just really, I know a lot of fans dismay and rejection because they want the Snyderverse back. I get it. Hopefully, if that's good and it's handled well and it's not interfered with, and you know, it sticks to a vision, it sticks to a plan. It's, you know, like the MCU did. You had Iron Man, and it carried on up until the Assembled Avengers movie. You need structure, you need cohesion, you just need a plan. Now, whether it's good, whether it's successful or not, we're going to have to wait and see. But I don't think they'd be just better off doing, okay, Nolan's got The Dark Knight. Now we've got a Reeves Batman world. Now we've got a Todd Phillips Joker world. Now we've got a separate Green Lantern universe. We've got a separate Martian Manhunter universe. We've got a separate Lobo universe. We've got a separate Lex Luthor character study movie. Now, all of a sudden, we're going into a separate Donna Troy movie. They all may be brilliantly crafted stories, but at some point, as I said a few minutes ago, you will have fans being like, oh, I wish Donna Troy connected to the Green Lantern universe, and the Green Lantern universe connected to the Martian Manhunter universe. But do you know what I mean? So they just need to get their shit together, and hopefully that is happening. I really hope so. I really hope so. Josh Shu, finally Boba is back to YouTube. What are you on about, my friend? Where did I go? I've been here the whole time. I haven't been anywhere. I live here. A DC Black Label universe. Do you mean like connected universe? So like Joker connects to another Black Label thing? I don't know about that, but maybe you mean Black Label in a sense that what Todd Phillips pitched with like certain characters do get like, yeah, R-rated Black Label level kind of one-shot stories with their own interpretations based on what the director wants to bloody manifest. So I remember when Joker came out, people, including myself, were like, oh, what about a Lex Luthor character study? What about a Deathstroke character study? But I don't know. But thank you, Mr. Penguin. Really appreciate you, man. That is very kind of you to send in two $10 super chats like that. Thank you. And speaking of super chats, we had Jackson ask me to check my email. Hold on, my friend. Thank you for the $2, by the way. A Burt variant. Oh, God. What am I about to witness? Check email for new Burt variant. Brutal. Brutal. You know you want to come over to Android. Do it. Come over to us. Get rid of that Apple iPhone, even though I probably just alienated 3/4 of the audience watching right now. I've had iPhones as well, just to say. I'm pretty objective. I've gone back and forth, but ultimately, no. I will not join your Apple side on the permanent side of things. Yeah, Android, you know what? Yeah, don't mock my Android. Android is a lot more freeing. I'm not constricted to one design and one operating system, which is so restrictive. Okay, I've started a war, haven't I? This is going to be the pizza debate, but the freaking Android versus iOS debate. You know what? I'm ready. It's one thing I will say. Again, I have gone back and forth. My first proper smartphone was, guess what? I was there when the iPhone 3G released. I had the original iPhone. Could you, by the way, like you guys don't even understand, half of you, if you're not old enough. But going from like phones with buttons on them to then having like the first one of these in the world, like it was actually mind-blowing. I'll never forget. I'll never ever forget that. Touchscreen, glass. It sounds so revolutionary because you're probably like, well, you're just describing a phone, but when was that? Like 2006, 7? Somewhere around then. Oh my God. It was incredibly... It just felt like... It was one of those few moments in my life, because technology's kind of not gone stagnant, but in terms of leaps, the way we've gone in the past, to go from that leap, it's one of the only times in my life I've ever witnessed. Like, oh shit, you've gone from like, yeah, Morgan says Blackberries or whatever, and then you see like, you know, now phones can go from like this, hey, yeah, there's this, and then it opens up into this, and it's just like, what the hell? But, oh, what the hell? Okay, sorry. I've just opened up Jackson's email, and I didn't even recognize who it was at first. I was like, oh God, what was Bert turned into? I just see like Mrs. Potato Head, and then I see, oh, okay. Oh, wow, okay. So, how many Ahsoka fans have we got in the chat right now? This is brilliant. I want to see how many of you are familiar with Bert and how many of you are familiar with Ahsoka and a fan of Ahsoka. As a kid, I used to play games. I never had a BlackBerry, and I was really left out at school because everyone went on about freaking BBM Messenger. And I had like Samsung, you know, they were just as good as like BlackBerries, you know, in terms of specs and everything, but I didn't get in on the BlackBerry hype. I always had the other kind of hype. You know, there was Motorola's, there was like Samsung things, you know, slide up phones. I had ones that, you know, you just pushed up with your thumb and then it would expose the underneath bit. Okay, nobody's talking about Bert Soker. Yes, you're goddamn right. Here we go. So this is what I saw, first of all, just to let you know. So it kind of scared me, Jackson, when I first saw Bert become this. I have to say, I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, I don't know why. Whenever I drag these images, it is huge. Right, let me try and sort this out. Oh god, why does it always do this? There we go. But there we have him. Well, her, Bertet, Bersoka. Bert Soker is here, guys. Alberta, Bersoka. I think I prefer Bersoka. Yeah, Morgie, you've got to get on this now. I'm joking. That probably takes you a long time to do. No, yeah, Jackson. Thank you, man. Thank you for always contributing to the Bert evolution. This is Bert's cosplay of Bersoka. Jackson, I swear you used to be a member. I'm seeing quite a few greys in the chat, but maybe actually... No, I realize it's probably because some of the previous gift memberships have started to clock out now, because don't forget, guys, gift memberships last... I actually don't know if it's like 4 weeks on the dot. Yeah, Ryan used to be a member. We will convert you all again one day. Just you wait. Marcus Yee, though, you're still rocking the Boba membership. Morgie is. Dart, good to see you guys. I used to be a member, but then finances got tight because of college. No worries, man. I'm not. By the way, I'm not pressuring you. I'm just starting to see. I was like, I swear, like, I always recognize when someone's been re-gifted membership, because it's like, I swear I said that the month before when like, you know, when Brutal or Morgie or whoever might send in a few memberships, it will just spam up in names, and I always remember, well, I don't remember every name, but the familiar ones getting re-gifted membership. He secretly has a fan crush. Wait, let me get in the PNG version. Where is the PNG version? I've lost it. Hold on. Oh god, this is gonna be like, people coming in won't even... Some new people coming in will just be like, who is that? What is that version of Ahsoka? Why can't I? Oh god, no. Hold on, sorry. But Ahsoka's become massive again. Fit to screen. There we go. Right, okay, you can go in the corner, but Ahsoka. Right, sorry. Let me see what you guys were saying. She would be difficult. Yeah, I can imagine. It'd be a lot more effort. Don't worry, Morgie. I'm only jesting. I used to be... I already read that one out. Convert me. Once I get paid, I'll get on the memberships. Brutal, by all means, you do not have to. I really appreciate the sentiment all the same, though. And we will see. I'm still grey. Film Fanatic, I think, yeah, you were trying, when Brutal was going brutal, weren't we trying to get you the membership? There was definitely like 1 or 2 people. I think Sequential was the other one. Sequential Art Chick. She couldn't get the memberships for some reason. But who knows? Maybe in the future a gift membership will be going your way. I don't know if I can gift my own channel. I don't know if that works. I don't know if that would be against... What I'd be more worried about is YouTube thinking, or like me getting a community guideline strike, thinking, you know how people pay for like views on things or whatever to get their followers up on Twitter and things like that. I wouldn't want them to think I'm trying to give myself membership or something for that reason, like fake membership. Maybe I'm being too paranoid, but I know YouTube can be really funny with just strikes and copyright stuff and God knows what else. But Soka, now we need Sebiguin. Sebiguin. Oh god, I see what you mean. Sabine. Wait, you're talking about Sabine Penguin? What? Oh my god. Sebiguin. That will be cursed. So we're talking like the penguin in Sabine's Star Wars Rebels kind of Ahsoka armor. Mandalorian armor. Skunkman, welcome to membership. Hello there. Thank you for joining Superhero membership, dude. I really appreciate that. If you join my Discord server, let me know. DM me, which reminds me I need to check my DMs just in case anyone else has sent a message request. Okay, I've been spammed. Looking at one of them. But I want to make sure I give people the ranks in my Discord server for joining the membership. Oh, that's a really cool Green Arrow figure. I've just seen that in my Discord general chat. I have a Green Arrow figure that can be yours. Tell me where to send it. I would. I don't have a PO box, so without doxing myself. Not saying that I, don't trust people, but I kind of don't actually with just giving my address out. Not saying you're going to do anything creepy though, but you never know. Not that I'm pretending to be someone huge, but I need to get some kind of PO box because people for years have said that they've wanted to send me something, even if it's like a self-made Batman cowl, which I would have loved to have been sent, but it's like I don't know where you can send it. But that's a really H, by the way. That's a really cool. I love that Oliver Queen, really classical Oliver Queen figure. I would like something like that. It's really cool. How dare you? We got a bit of kind of groovy John Mayer type backing track going on right now. Okay. AK Channel TV. Thank you for being a member for 5 months, buddy. That's really cool. That's really cool. And that superhero membership, which is the top rank. If you guys didn't know, we have like hero membership here, and then superhero membership, which is the Chad squad, or the Burt squad, shall we say? The Burt squad. I should make another tier called Burt squad, which is like God tier. That gives me an idea, and then I can commission Morgie to make like 1,000 knitted Burts, and whoever joins that tier, they have the chance of winning a Burt, a physical manifestation of Burt. God Burt. Anyway, sorry, AK, have you seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre? There is a new game. Yeah, so I have heard about this. Do you like horror games? I do. I really do. I don't get all the time to game in the world at the minute, which is odd to say. I play like major releases. So like God of War, when that comes out, bang, I am on it. Spider-Man, PlayStation, I'm on it. Halo, whenever that comes out, once every bloody 10 years, I'll play that, rinse and repeat. Baldur's Gate, I've put like 35 hours into it, which is actually quite shy compared to what other people have ever since that came out August 2nd. Starfield, I'm ready and prepared to drop a shit ton of hours into Bethesda's Starfield. I am so ready, by the way. I could stream some of it on the channel just for funsies if people are interested, but yes, oh my god, I've been waiting for Starfield my whole life. You know, we're talking Bethesda, the makers of Oblivion, Skyrim, Daggerfall, all of that, but now reskinned into a space game. So I'm a huge fan of space and getting out there and humanity pushing forward in that direction. So the fact I get to roleplay that, I can create a Boba or a Bert in Starfield. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting so distracted. Texas, yeah, I've heard about the game, but I read some reviews for it and heard it was like really buggy. But I keep hearing people talk about it, so I don't know. You know what, Brutal? I don't know. A lot of people, believe it or not, out of nowhere, are thinking of calling, and it hasn't even released on consoles yet, Baldur's Gate 3 Game of the Year. And I would say right now, Baldur's Gate is definitely up there for me. Incredible game, absolutely. And I think it deserves to win Game of the Year because it has basically broken and set precedent for the gaming industry. It's remarkable, a remarkable game, and I think it should win. Spider-Man, I can imagine, will be really good, but even with what I can imagine it to be successful, I don't know if it will have truly have the tremendous feat that Baldur's Gate achieved. See, Brutal, what I will say is, I was you, my friend. I truly was. The idea of playing some kind of tabletop-looking RPG strategy, I was like, absolutely not. No. Seriously, and this was like as much as like a year ago or so. I don't get it. I don't get what's so good about those games. Like, I can imagine maybe people appreciate it, but I don't get it. But I tried it, and they're really good. So I don't know if you're into RPGs in general. If you're not even into RPGs, fair enough. But the tabletop side of it, I would say Baldur's Gate isn't properly tabletop. You can like zoom in right up close to your character. It is still turn-based, but only in the same way, like, you know, it's not, trust me, if you're into RPGs, you will love it. If you just let yourself learn the basics. But if you're not even into that genre of games, like anything like that, then maybe there is no hope. But Baldur's Gate is as big as it is for a reason, my friend, and I felt the exact same way. I think it's because I tried to get into Divinity Original Sin and something like Baldur's Gate before, and I was just like, I don't get it. Why are these games so popular? But then eventually it clicked, and Baldur's Gate, my God, it's insane. It's insane the amount of truly different interactions you can have in dialogue and how that can truly change your direction in a game. And a lot of games say that they do that, but it's complete bullcrap. Like, honestly, it's an illusion. Like, Cyberpunk has a lot of illusion of freedom of choice. Normally in games these days, that is a complete illusion. But there's actual games out there who go through the effort to actually spiral off into a crossroads. And Baldur's Gate, my God, is insane. Anyway, I need to stop rambling about that. But love horror games, love Dead Space. I loved Alien Isolation when that came out. What else do I like? Dead by Daylight, I don't really play it just because I'm shit at it. It's not really properly a horror game. I suppose it is in a way, but you know what I mean. What other horror games have come out? I never completed the... man, what's it called? From the makers of Dead Space. It kind of didn't really turn out too great, apparently. You know, it's very Dead Space oriented. What's it called? Guys, you know. The game that came out like several months ago. Star Wars KOTOR is good. Yep, I played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic when I was probably about 8, 9, 10. Some of the best years of my childhood, honestly. Jackson, I feel bad, man. Thank you so much, though, for becoming a superhero member. Thank you. Ice cream so good, my friend. Ice cream so good. Jackson so good. Yes. Superhero membership. Slay, huh? Oh my God. People are... Yeah, if I ever did content like that, that would be my OnlyFans, you know what? I'll just do an NPC thing. What NPC, if I ever did a parody of that, should I imitate? But seriously, Jackson, thank you so much for becoming a superhero member. That's really supportive and really helps to keep the lights on the channel, and all of your support today. Really appreciate that. Who remembers Star Wars Republic Commando? Yeah, man, I really do. I've got it downloaded as well on my Switch because, you know, they've made it, they ported it to the Switch, and it's even on Xbox and stuff, probably on PlayStation. What's Bert's origin? It's a long chronicle. I'm not sure if I can get into it right now. Dambo, but I know which game you're on about. Yeah, I know. I can't remember the name. I don't know why it is. So that's really going to bug me, but I hate Googling things when you get the answer. Oh my God, that's really annoying. Callisto Protocol, that is it. Yeah. Yeah, that game came out, and I've got that, but I never completed it, which I'm kind of annoyed about. But I fell off that. I can't believe we've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes already.
Time goes by fast, my boy. Very fast. Alice in Wonderland Telltale. I haven't played that, no. So yeah, Callisto Protocol, you know, it kind of got like mid reviews in a sense. It looked like, you know, because it was from the makers of Dead Space, and it looks super cool. The graphics are gorgeous in it. It kind of came out pretty bare bones. It's weird. It wasn't what it was made up to be, but by all means, I don't think it's like a bad game. It's just what it was being made out to be. Like, oh my god, like Dead Space 2.0, like it's carrying on the legacy, even though it's like a new IP and blah blah blah. And it's like when it came out, it's like, oh, yeah, I still kind of like it, but oh, you know. I think it's alright. I remember, so I watched Yong Ye talk about it, and he was defending it to a certain extent, but ultimately it's not gold, it's bland. It's got a blandness to it. It's not worth like $59.99 great British pounds. It's not, but it's probably worth like 35 on release, 40. Yeah, I've heard as well, maybe because it's like a 6-hour storyline, I can't remember. Maybe it's a bit longer, but oh man, excuse me. I never managed to complete Final Fantasy 16 since Baldur's Gate 3 has been taking up so much of my time. I know what you mean. I'm a bit worried because Starfield's coming out soon, and there's no way I'm going to complete Baldur's Gate by the time that comes out. And I'm going to have to hop games to Starfield. Now, that's just because I can't help myself. Nothing against Baldur's Gate, but I'm going to have to just continue the journey to Baldur's Gate some other time. And I do really like it, and I have got a lot of my money's worth out of it. Like, so far, 35 hours. You know, I don't buy games all the time as well. Like, they're expensive. So, 35 hours is quite, you know, considering some games aren't 35 hours, pretty good. And I've got many, many hours to go. Like, Baldur's Gate is at least like a 100-hour plus game at the very least. Oh god, why can't I stop yawning right now? I feel like it's getting like really hot in here, and I don't know if any of you are the same, but when I was in school, if the windows weren't open and it was just slightly warm, it would make me so sleepy. But if it was cold, it was alright. But any kind of heat, I'm just like, Nowadays, I try my best to find time to play games. Yeah, man. No, I completely agree. The older you get, it's like, even if you do have time after work, you're still kind of like, do I play the game? Because it's kind of like a new, you know, it's expelling energy that you just might not have. I still get probably the same amount of sleep though, Jackson, relative to when I wake up. I could write you an Into the Burt verse if I had the time and lore. Into the Burt verse. Well, his origin is that he's a YouTube super sticker. So if you send in a super sticker to the channel, you can choose Burt. And then he kind of took on his own life and identity from there on out, you know? Like, we adopted him. He's a YouTube sticker, but I feel like he shouldn't be. He should be in this community's character. Because I really am willing to kind of maybe bet some money that no other YouTuber has given Burt, the super sticker, the lore that he has here. I mean, he's just a super sticker on other channels. He's not even called Burt. He's got a whole identity here. And that needs to be recognized. The thing is, I'm yawning, but I don't feel tired.
And I won't be going to bed for quite a while because I've got some work to do. What race and class is your Baldur's Gate 3 character, Boba? So see, I'm basic as feck. I have to admit, I get very overwhelmed by the D&D type things you can build your character with whether it's the cantrips to the attributes to all of the feats. How do you know you're building the right build? And I get this kind of like ADHD shutdown where it's like, it's so overwhelming because there's so many things. And people say, well, if you do this with your character, your build is so underutilized and you could get fucked for it. So I'm a fighter. So very basic, as in, I'm a fighter battle master, I think. And even then, I've looked at build guides because it's just, there's so much to it. I wanted to appreciate the RPG elements because even on normal difficulty, Baldur's Gate can be really challenging. And then you've got all your companions to level up, and it's like, well, I don't know what to do for them, so I looked at companion builds. And I only do that out of, again, if I switch and chose my own things like I did initially before I respec them, they were completely underutilized, and I was getting screwed over. I'm a complete noob to, really in-depth RPG mechanics like that. Give birth to the verse Ryan. Fulfill the prophecy. Fulfill your destiny. Bert was born from pizza cheese. No. He was molded out of the pizza-based sauce like gods mold people out of clay. That's the origin. I'm running out of water. No. Water. Boy. Welcome back, Saeed. You heard the man, Ryan. You got good to see you here, Jurassic, by the way. What race, though? Sorry. Yeah, I just a human. I don't care about the bonuses you can get being like a warrior. I think an orc, it gives you some bonuses or something. I can't remember what race. But I just want it to be a human. But on the second playthrough, if I ever get around to that, I want it to be something completely different. Like maybe like a, I don't know, a dwarf wizard. I have no idea. Oh my god, dude, stop yawning. Dead Space. Republic Commandos is a masterpiece. You know what? My favorite Star Wars game growing up was it was Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Those games, or like Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, but that was more Kyle Katarn. But when you got to create your own character, Jaden, that was so good. And the online multiplayer that it had, so good, so good. Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, multiplayer from 2004 to 2000 something, amazing. See you later, Brutal. Haven't worked out today yet, so I've got to do that and get that out of the way. Oh, man. I don't know how you do a full day. And I mean, people do this. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know you already basically work out for your job, so I don't know how you work out on top of that. But take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. A dragonborn barbarian. Holy. Holy. I would spend an hour on the Lego Star Wars character creator. Oh, God. Oh, man. All right. To be honest, guys, I think I might leave it there as well. Just as Brutal was going, I think I might call it as well. Because I don't know why, but I keep yawning. I think it's just getting boiling in here. So that being said, I'm going to start editing tomorrow's video, open a window, work a bit more, and then see where the evening takes me. But I would like to say thank you to all of those of you who have stopped by the past hour and a half now. We've been here for an hour and a half. And if you want to do me a favor, and you're into Star Wars anyway, check out my Ahsoka review. Would really appreciate maybe a share and a like on that video if you're interested in doing so and watching the video, that is. So yeah, just really appreciate you guys watching. The Batman video coming out tomorrow for those interested. Thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.